now continue the SEC Spring Football Teleconference with Tennessee head coach Butch Jones. To ask a question for Coach Jones, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad now. Coach, while we wait for questions, please take a minute to talk about your team's progress during the spring.
Well, I thought we had an extremely productive spring, made great progress as we continue to develop this overall team's identity and our style of play. You know, we had to focus on the small details and really what does it take to play winning football at your position, individually and collectively. And 50% of our players were going through spring for the first time. We're still dealing with the realities of building a football program in an elite conference, but I thought our players were as we continue to move forward. This summer is going to be big for our overall development in all phases. I thought our program benefited from 14 newcomers. I thought they brought a whole nother level of energy and competition and that competitive culture that we speak about each and every day. So I thought we took tremendous strides in improving as a football team and as a football program.
Thanks, Coach. And your first question comes from Jimmy Himes of the Sports Animal in Knoxville.
Butch, did you like the decision made Sunday night to go with an 8-game conference schedule, 6 opponents, 1 permanent, and 1 crossover?
Well, Jimmy, the first thing is I was very excited that we were able to maintain the Alabama-Tennessee rivalry. That's in our DNA. It's a great tradition that we have here, and it's great for our fans, and I think it's great for the SEC, and it's great for the country. So that was the big thing. In terms of scheduling, in terms of 8 games, 9 games, really, I don't think there's any perfect solution. It's what's best for the conference as we continue to move forward, and so I support that. But the big thing for us is being able to maintain the rivalry with Alabama.
You mentioned also the 14 newcomers, the energy they brought to the program. You got 18 more players coming in the summer. How excited are you about what they might be able to bring to the table?
Well, very excited, and I thought in the conclusion of spring, I thought that the offense was a little bit ahead of the defense, and I think that's direct correlation to the 14 newcomers. 11 were on the offensive side of the ball. Most of our signees were early enrollees, so now we get the infusion of the depth and of the competition with the 18 newcomers coming in. I believe 16 are on the defensive side of the ball, so we should be a different defensive football team, but extremely healthy in all aspects. I thought our older players did a great job of really teaching the 14 newcomers our culture, our standard of excellence, our expectations, our mindset of really what it means to play here. I think it was a big, not a wake-up call, but I think it was great that for the spring game we had almost 69,000 people, and we needed that to happen because we needed to see those youngsters in that type of environment and see how they could compete individually, and that's the way we really tried to break the spring game down, was just competing individually and seeing which individuals would step up in that type of competitive environment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now go to Mike Herndon of AL.com.
Morning, Butch.
Good morning.
I wanted to ask, what's been the key for you on the recruiting trail to bring the kind of class you did this year? Particularly any geographic emphasis, or what do you feel has been the key to getting that thing going the way you have?
Well, I think there's a number of things. I think first of all is the national brand that Tennessee brings about. I think it's the product that we're selling. You have an opportunity to compete in the best football conference in the country. We have tremendous facilities. We have great academics. We have great campus life, and it's Tennessee. And on top of it, we have great people. I think our assistant coaches did a great job of really formulating and building relationships, and trust is earned over time. And we're in a people business and selling what Tennessee has to offer. Plus, I think it's a unique opportunity for a young man to make a difference, to get Tennessee football back. So I think there's a lot of great things with the ability to sell what we have here, but at the end of the day, it's all based on relationships.
And how important is it for you guys to recruit not only the Southeast, but on up into the Midwest and the East Coast?
Well, it's very important, but we're going to start with home first. It starts with Tennessee. It starts with a 6-hour radius. And that is one of the advantages of being here is where we're geographically located. We can be in a number of different areas of the country. There's a lot of great football within driving distance. So, we've tried to use where we're located as an advantage to us.
Next question is from Dwayne Rankin of the Montgomery Advertiser.
Yes, Coach. As part of that scheduling format is playing a team from the other Big Five conference. How do you feel about that? I know you guys obviously did it last year, but how do you feel about that other aspect of the schedule?
Well, I do think it's good, and everything is about your quality of opponents. And I found out at a very, very early stage of being here, we play the best of the best. You look at this year's scheduling, we have Oklahoma at Oklahoma, and 9 out of our 12 opponents on our overall schedule are bowl teams. And, you look at last year having to go on the road and play at Oregon. So in terms of meeting that criteria, we've always met that criteria here, and that's been one of the challenges, part of building this football program back, is we've had a very, very challenging and very difficult schedule as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Final question will come from Bob Holt of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Bob.
Hey, I guess there's a new rule this summer that the coaches can have some contact with the players during the week. What do you think of that rule? What could be the impact, the positives of that?
Well, the summer months are really where I think where your football program or your football team really, really develops. I think the leadership that is formulated with it being a player-led football team is critical. And the leadership, everything that goes along with it, the team chemistry that's necessary to win. But now to be able to have 2 hours of being able to have in a classroom setting, I think will prove to be extremely beneficial for us just because of the influx of newcomers that we have in our program. But for us, it's going to be a balancing act because you have to deduct that from your time in the strength and conditioning room, and having to play as many true freshmen as we're going to have to play this year. Every rep in the weight room is as critical as every mental rep in a classroom setting. So we'll use a balancing act, but I think for us that rule change is coming at the right time for us.